نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and hello to all the viewers and dear students. I'm Safiullah Shilwari, one of the lecturers of Salam University Faculty of Economics, and I would like to welcome you once again to another session on the subject of leadership. Before beginning our session, I hope students, all of you are fine and having good days and also good time around your families. So let's proceed to our today's lecture and see what are the topics which are going to be explained. Alright students, if you remember last time around we discussed about the leadership styles. So in our previous lecture we have talked about the autocratic, democratic and also laissez-faire styles of leaderships. So we had a detailed lecture on these three types of leadership styles and theories. So if you have missed that lecture, so you can go back to my channel and try to study that lecture. In our today's lecture, the main topics which are going to be discussed in details, so they are transactional leadership and also the transformational leadership styles. So let's proceed to our today's topic and discuss them in further details. The first type of leadership which is going to be explained in our today's session, that's transformational leadership style or theory. We can say that transformational leadership or theory of leadership is based on the idea and concept that a leader loves to work with his team and also with the subordinates and followers in trying to inspire the team, create a vision for a team, motivate and guide the team towards a planned change. Because these type of leaders, they are only or highly focused and concentrated on bringing innovations and changes to the organization. So simply we can say that transformational leaders are change agents or change-driven leaders because they love to work for change and they love to work under the circumstances where organizations require a change, where organization wants to shift from one position to another position. These leaders work best under the circumstances where organizations need to adopt a change in the current system. It means transformational leaders, they work better whenever they have a system in which they want to bring innovations and they want to bring changes in the current system. So whenever the organizations, they are in a situation that they want to bring changes in their current system, so then the transformation leaders, they are the best to fill that gap. So those changes may be caused to organization by internal or maybe by external factors. So transformation leaders, they are the best option at that time for the organizations in order to manage that change, in order to take that change from start to the end and maintain that change for the organization. So these sort of leaders are supported strongly by their committed groups because transformation leaders, they always encourage and inspire and motivate employees and followers. Encourage them for innovation, encourage them for creating their own way of working, and they always encourage the employees for bringing change and innovation in the organization, and let the employees to work with their own innovations, creativity and skills and ability, and set like a way for the organization, for the success of the organization. It's also said that transformational leadership inspires people to achieve unexpected or remarkable results. So these kind of leaders, they work best whenever they want to motivate the employees and they want to encourage the employees to achieve those unexpected goals of the organizations, which are highly difficult or maybe need much effort to be achieved those goals which the organization wants. Or also sometimes the organization wants some remarkable or extraordinary results from the employees. So in that circumstances, these sort of leaders, they work best in order to inspire the employees or the people and just help them to gain the unexpected goals and remarkable results for the organization. It gives workers self-sufficiency over specific jobs. As I stated earlier, that in this sort of leadership, the leaders, they let the employees or followers to choose their own way of working, and they let the employees to find their own way and style of working. So that's why whenever you let your employees and you just give them independency, so the employees become more efficient and they become more creative and innovative. So when they have creativity and innovation skills, so definitely these sort of employees, they always, depend on themselves, and they want to build their skills and abilities, and they always, show self-sufficiency over specific jobs. It means, when you assign them a specific job, so on those jobs they show their self-confidence, their self-sufficiency, self-motivation, and self-leadership skills, as well as the authority to make decisions once they have been trained. So once you give, like a sort of a job or a sort of position to an employee in the organization, and they are working under the transformational leadership style, so automatically they are like gaining skills and abilities of making decisions. A time comes that actually they're making their decision by themselves, and they're not looking for the leaders to help them in the circumstances where decision making is important. Some of the basic characteristics of transformation leaderships are inspirational. So in this style of leadership, the leaders, they have to inspire the people. But one thing I have to say that if you want to be a transformational leader and you want to inspire people, so at first it's important for you to be inspired. Inspiration here means that you must have a clear vision for yourself first, for your organization, and then you should be able to explain or express that clear vision to your subordinates, to your followers. So once the vision is clear for you, and also it's clear for your employees and subordinates, it gives them the better direction in order to achieve those goals and objectives. In that, the leader can inspire workers to find better ways of achieving goals. As we mentioned, this style of leadership gives independency or freedom to workers to find their own way of achieving their goals, their task, in performing their task or doing their day-to-day operations. Mobilization, because leadership can mobilize people into groups that can get work done. In moral, in that transformation, leaders raise the well-being and motivation level of a group through excellent rapport. So basically it means that this sort of leadership gives confidence to the team, and also it gives a sort of circumstances for the employees and for the followers to get together and make a team, in having like a great morale, and just try to motivate each other in the team, and also they must have a very good relationship in communications with each other. So this is the quality of and also characteristics of the transformational leaders, that they are creating the team, and then that team having good morale, that team having good communication skills in relations with each other, and they're considering each other's problems, and they have great problem solving skills, and they work as a team. They're also good at conflict resolution. So these sort of leaders, they're also very good, and they have the ability and skill and potential to overcome the conflicts and to solve those issues which arise within the team or within the organization. All right, there are some transformational leaders specialized in. So whenever we call transformational leaders, so these people, they must have some speciality, or they are specialized in working to change the system. So one of the specialization for them is that they work to change the system. As we mentioned before, that these leaders are best suited for the situations where the organization are in need to adopt a change due to the internal or external factors. So these leaders normally they show great skills and abilities that they can work towards a change, and they can work on a system which needs development or change. Next specialized skill for these leaders is solving challenges by finding experiences that show how old patterns do not fit or work. So another specialization of these leaders is that they are great at defining the problems, defining the conflicts, and then finding the best possible solutions for those problems. And they show always great experience dealing or managing these sort of activities, wanting to know what has to change. So these leaders, they are specialized in finding and also wanting to know that what has to change. It means what sort of change the organization needs. Sometimes the organizations, they're looking for a change, or they need to adopt a change, but actually it's difficult for them to define or identify the type of change they need. So these leaders in this area, they can work, or they can better find out, or they can better identify for the organizations that organizations they need, or they have to bring what sort of change. So that change identification is a specialization for these leaders. یعنی یا کس بهتر میدانه که ادارات با کدام نوع از تغییر و تغییرات ضرورت داره یا او تغییر کس میتونه دیفاین کنه و پیدا کنه برتن. Maximizing their team's capability and capacity. So they are great known for inspiring people, motivating and encouraging the team members. And also they help the team members to improve their capability, capacity, and bring innovation and creativity to the organization. So these are, some of the important transformational leaders' specialization, skills, and abilities. So let's discuss, dear students, some of the important components of transformational leadership style, and also what are those components which are important for transformational leaders. The first one, that's intellectual stimulation. Basically, we can define intellectual stimulation as the process or opportunity of having a leader who motivates the team members for creativity, improving problem-solving skills, or improving ideas and concepts, bringing innovation, in improving critical thinking or analysis, improving the skills and abilities of the employees, or to identify a problem and solve it. So this is the first and the most important component of the transformational leaders. That these leaders not only challenge the status quo, it means the current processes or the current work done in the organization. یعنی یا تنها امو سیستمی که فعلا وجود است او را تنها چالش نمیکنه بلکه they also encourage creativity among followers. در این leadership که از همیشه leaders یا کوشش میکنه و میکوشن به که فالوورز خود کس به وادار بسازه و encourage کنه تا که و creativity را نشان بده و از خود کس self sufficiency را نشان بده و critical analysis داشته باشه، problem solving skills داشته باشه. چرا که در این leadership اکثرا employees یا followers که است با اجازه داده میشه یا اینطور سیچویشن برشان ایجاد میشه که باید کارهایشان که است خودشان پیش ببره، decision که است خودشان باید بگیره و way of working که است او را باید خودشان define کنه. So the leaders encourage followers to explore new ways of doing things. It means the employees, they should find the new or the improved way of performing their jobs in their operational activities, in new opportunities to learn. So the leaders, they should create such kind of environment or such kind of working place which let the employees or the followers that they can learn from that. It means the employees, they should get an opportunity from the environment to learn. The next point is individualized consideration. So as the name suggests, that it means that the transformational leaders, they are trying to a great extent or level to know about the needs, the wants and demands and problems of each individual or follower. So basically the leaders, they are trying to consider each individual and listen everyone with his or her problems and concerns. So we can say that individual consideration also means letting the individuals to share their problems, and then leaders, they're trying to motivate bilateral communication in order to find a solution for their problems. So we can say that individual consideration means that trying to have like an opportunity for each individual or for each follower or employee to communicate with the leaders at the time that they are facing any problems or they do not know how to perform their work, or they need any comment or any sort of help from the leader. So the leaders, they are encouraging that kind of relationship, and they are encouraging that kind of environment or atmosphere in which each individual can have the opportunity to openly communicate with his or with her leader. So the followers, they always feel free to share their ideas, their opinions, and their problems directly with the leader. So this is like the individual consideration, that this is another important component of the transformational leaders. Point number third, or component number third, is inspirational motivation. So here we can say that the word inspirational motivation can cover or can include or involve two significant components. The first one is a leader himself should be clear, or a leader by himself should have a clear understanding about his or her vision. یعنی ما گفته میتونیم که در Inspirational Motivation که از دو نقاط بسیار مهم است. اول نقطه ای است که لیدر در قدم اول باید معلومات دقیق در مورد ویژن و میشن خود داشته باشه. So when he or she knows clearly about the vision, that where he or she wants to take the organization and where he wants to see the organization in future, then he or she can easily communicate or motivate others to work towards the achievement of those visions. اکثر اوقات دیده میشه که اگر لیدرز میخواه که فالوورز موتیویت کنه و وار انسپایر کنه تا که یک ست ویژن و میشن که است او اچیو شود. لیکن این ست میشن و ویژن که است این کلیرلی به لیدرز خودش که است معلوم نیست. یعنی او امرای خود که است سرزی واضح نیست که ویژنشان چی می باشه. دیگه در قدم اول ما گفتیم که the inspirational motivation که دو important components یا دو important factors می باشه. یکی که است اینمی که لیدر باید خودش بفهمه که ویژن چیست. زمانی که لیدر فهمید و ایره به شکل خوبتر و بهتر communicate کرد به followers. After that, in second step, we can say that the leader should express or communicate the vision to followers in a manner which can excite the followers, which can encourage and motivate the followers, and they become, quite motivated. They become quite excited in order to deliver their best performances. So let's suppose you are clear with yourself, your vision is very clear, and you expressed that vision to your employees and followers in a very clear way. But actually your way of expressing your vision to your employees was not effective, or it was not, exciting. So if it was not exciting, or it didn't encourage or motivate the employees and followers, so they won't work best, or they do not give their best. يعني شما بصفت یک لیدر با واقع ای ویژن تان ایتر کمیونیکیت کنین، دیتر یک شیوه و طریقه کمیونیکیت کنین که با واد او هم بنفیتس پیدا شود. یعنی زمانی که یک اداره ویژن خود به امپلویز خود که نشان میده که یا در coming 3 years or 5 years که در این پوزیشن می باشه و در اونجا لیدرز امپلویز که و فایده خود نبینه که بعد از 3 یا 5 سال بعد که اداره در این مقام میرسه به امپلوی کدام فایده می باشه. چرا که ما باید امپلوی نیدز که او را باید هم مد نظر بگیریم. در اینجا ای باید به شکل برشان کمیونیکیت شود با امپلویز که و خود هم بسیار مهم دو پیکچر ببینه و همچنان individual benefits و individual needs که است او هم در اونجا برشان نشان داده شود که بعد از اچیومنت ای ویژن که است برای شما هم اینی امتیازات یا اینی achievements می باشه. Then they will become excited, they will work with more passion, and they will be motivated to fulfill those goals and also achieve those goals which have set by the organization. Here we can say also that the leaders, they can use different sorts of tools and techniques, maybe, a reward system, or maybe, they're using, different ways that they can, keep the employees motivated and directed towards the mission of the organization and also towards the vision of the organization. Next point is idealize influence. So as the word says, idealize influence means that it is like the ability, or it's the skill of a leader to play like a role, or to become like a role model for his or for her followers. Even in our previous few lectures, we are repeating this word, or we are repeatedly saying that a leader should be a role model for his followers. Whenever you lead from the front and you show the way, you show the direction, you show the course of action, you inspire and motivate your team members, your followers, then they act, because the employees or the followers, they always look to the leader. So once leader starts from himself and he show the way and direction to the employees, and he show the ways of achieving the goals of the organization. So automatically the employees and followers will be motivated and will be encouraged, because they see their leader, and the leader is leading from the front. So that's why leader is playing a role model, playing a role model for them. So automatically the followers will become like more motivated, and they show great respect and trust to their leader. So now, dear students, let's discuss some of the advantages and disadvantages of transformational leadership theory or styles. So at first, let's talk about the pros, the positive points of this type of leadership. Excellent at communicating new ideas. So as we said before, that these types of leaders, they are very creative, they are innovative, and they're always good at communicating new ideas. And even people who work under this style of leadership, they are very creative, and they always pass and share their new ideas and new opinions. Second, they are good at balancing short-term visions and long-term goals. So these leaders, they're very good at balancing the short-term vision and long-term goals of the organizations and communicate that to the followers and team members. Experience building strong coalitions and establishing mutual trust. So these sort of leaders, they have the ability and skill to create very good team and effective teams, and they are just creating the environment within that team where everybody has mutual respect and also mutual trust to each team member. Fourth, they have integrity and high emotional intelligence. So this is another positive point of the transformational leaders, that they show great integrity, honesty, and also they have high emotional intelligence. So on emotional intelligence, we have talked in our previous lectures that they have great social skills. They have self-awareness. They show great relationship awareness and also social relations with people. There are some negative points of this sort of leadership style. First one is ineffective in initial stage or ad hoc situations. It means whenever the organization is in the initial stage, so in that situation, these leaders, they're not found very much effective. Or ad hoc situation means that these sort of leaders, they are just good only for some specific situations. As I mentioned before, that these leaders who work best or suit best the situations where organizations, they want to lead a change, require an existing structure to fix. These leaders, they are more entrusted to work within the structure. It means within a structure which exists, and they can bring innovation in creativity in that structure. It means if that structure needs some changes, as I mentioned earlier, that these leaders, they are change agents, and they have the better experience of how to manage a change and how to lead a change. So that's why if you give them an existing structure or existing organization which has some problems or they need some changes, so these leaders best work with that situation. But if you just ask them to develop a structure or to develop an organization from the initial stage, so highly possible that they do not work properly, or they do not construct or make or develop a system from a 0 point. Bad fit in bureaucratic structures. So this is another bad quality or negative aspect of these sort of leaders. So now let's discuss the second type of leadership style, that's transactional leadership style. Before I talk about in details about the transactional leadership styles, so let me just give you an example that Bill Gates is one of the best example of transactional leadership style. So now you can imagine or you can think that what sort of leadership style it might be. So as it says that transactional leadership promotes obedience with existing organizational goals and performance, expectation through supervisions in the use of rewards and punishments. So these leaders strongly believe in the defined goals and objectives of the organization. It means that they work with that situation where organization have clear vision, mission, and goals and objectives, and ask these leaders to fulfill or achieve those goals and objectives. So they are more like performance driven, and they expect the employees to perform well. And in these leaders, they believe on two words. One is reward and the other one is punishment. It means they're using two approaches. One is the carrot approach and the other one is the stick approach. If the employees perform best and they achieve the given task or they achieve the given goals and objectives of the organization, so they'll be rewarded. But if employees fail in their jobs, in their performances, so they'll be punished. So these leaders, they are more like supervisors and they are more like managers. Transactional leaders are task and outcome oriented. It means they are just assigning tasks to individuals or employees and ask them for better outcome and performances. So they're always managing the performances and managing the task of the employees, especially effective under the strict time and resource constraints. So it says that these leaders work best whenever the organization they're also looking, or they are performance oriented, and they are following time very strict, and they have limited resources. So in that situation, these leaders are good because they can manage the resources of the organization very properly, and they are utilizing or using the resources very effectively, and allocating the resources in a very good way. In highly specific projects, this approach adheres to the status quo and employs a form of management that pays close attention to how employees perform their tasks. So as I mentioned before, it's just like a style of management where the resources are managed, the human resources are managed, the tasks are assigned to everyone, the goals and objectives of the organization are given priority to be achieved. Transactional leadership requires specific rules or regulations. As we mentioned before, that these leaders or this leadership style is based on rules and regulations. Every organization, they have some policies, some rules and regulations for performing their job or for managing the organization. So these leaders, they strictly follow the rules and regulations of the organization in order to achieve the objectives. It moves people and resources in the organized fashion to ensure that specific results can be achieved along the typical time frame. So as we mentioned before, that these leaders, they work on two components or on two aspects. One, human resource and the resources. And they are trying to integrate the human resource with the resources in a way or in a fashion in order to achieve the goals of the organization more effectively and efficiently. It's a leadership style which requires people to be self-motivated. So it means in this style of leadership, the leaders, they do not offer any motivation, or they do not encourage you for creativity, for improving your skills and abilities. So you as an employee should motivate yourself, in all times or in all situations. Self-motivation means that you should follow the proper rules and regulations of the organization, and also you should perform your job or task in the best possible way in order to be given a reward. So if you did your job in a best possible way, you will be given a reward, which is a self-motivation. So it depends on you. If you didn't perform your job effectively or the way it was asked to be performed, so definitely you won't be given any reward. You'll be given punishment. So that's why we say that here self-motivation is important. You need to motivate yourself as an employee. Team members within a transactional leader must be able to work within a directed environment that's highly structured. So the working environment in this sort of leadership is structured environment, and it means it doesn't let anybody to be like very much creative or innovative. You cannot perform the task based on your innovation, or you cannot create a new way of working, or you cannot develop your own way of working or style of working. So here you should follow strict rules, regulations, and also strict working environment, and also structured working environment. The way you are asked to perform your job, you should do it. It focuses on producing results above anything else, and motivates people to achieve them by offering clear rewards or consequences. So as we mentioned before, that this sort of leadership is highly oriented or concentrated on outcome, result. So that's why they just prefer and also give rewards in punishments to those people that they're working for the benefits of the organization. So they will be rewarded. If they're not working the way they were asked to perform the job, and their performances are not good, so they will be punished. So let's discuss some of the pros and cons, or positives and negative points of the transactional leadership. On the left, you can see that performances is rewarded. Under this system, the employees who deliver the best results and best performances, so they'll be given rewards, that behavior is supported and promoted. Productive. So in this situation, they want employees to be productive, and they should produce the best possible results, and they should achieve the short-term and long-term goals of the organization. Order and structure. So you should follow, the fixed rules and regulations and instructions and directions of the organizations, and also you should follow your role. What is your role in the organization and what is expected from you? So if you do that, so based on your performances and based on your role, you'll be given, clear rewards. There are some negative points. Limited creativity. Since this system is, like a structure working system, or the leaders, they provide you a structured working environment. So creativity is eliminated, or there is no creativity for you. As an employee, you do not have the right, or you do not have the chance to show your creativity or innovation or new ideas or new opinions. You cannot, clearly communicate with people. Just follow the directions and achieve your goals. Punishments. So punishment will be given to those that actually they're not performing their job best, and they are not productive for the organization, or they're not helping the course of the organization in order to achieve the goals of the organization. Motivation problems. So one of the problem here, it's the motivational factor. This system does not motivate anybody, so the employees or followers, they have to motivate themselves. If they perform best, so they can be given rewards, which is the self-motivation. Or if they did wrong and they did not give their best, or their performances were not up to the mark, so they'll be given punishment. So these are the three negative qualities of this style of leadership. Some of the characteristics of transactional leaderships are very left brain. So it means some of the people are left brain and some of the people are right brain. It means that left brain people, they are dominated by their left side of the brain, and right brain means their right side of the brain is dominated. The people who are left brain, so they are more analytical, methodical. So the people who are the right brained, so those people are more creative and more innovative, and they believe in creativity, innovations. So this is one of the characteristics of the transactional leaders, that they are left brain. It means they are more analytical and methodical. Tend to be inflexible. These leaders, they are very stubborn. They are very inflexible. They do not encourage themselves or the team members for any change. They always love to be in the situation where they are, and they do not want to come out of their comfort zone, opposed to change. As point number 2 suggested, that they are inflexible. So they are always opposing the change. They're rejecting the change, and they are not the people who are driving the organization towards a change. Focus on short-term goals. They are highly focused to achieve the short-term goals of the organizations, because they do not set the vision for the organization. Favor structured policies and procedures. They always work under the circumstances where there are rules and regulations, which are defined rules and regulations and structured policies of working. Thrive on following rules and doing things correctly. They always ask the followers and ask the employees to follow the rules and regulations and work based on rules and regulations of the organization. There are some advantages and disadvantages of the transactional leadership. So let's at first discuss what are the advantages of the transactional leadership. Awards those who are motivated by self-interest to follow instructions. So this is one of the best point of the transactional leadership, that those who motivate themselves and they show better performances and follow the directions, rules and regulations, policies and instructions of the organization, and they achieve their targets and they show their performances and impress management by their performances, they'll be given rewards based on their performances. It gives an unmistakable structure for the large organization, because the role of everyone is defined, the structure of work is defined, the rules and regulations and direction and instructions are very clearly defined to all the people. And also the tasks which are performed in the organization, so they are repetitive in style. Repeatedly those tasks should be performed. So this is another good quality. Achieves short-term goals quickly. So for the organization where they need to achieve their goals in short-term goals quickly, this type of leadership helps them quite a lot. Rewards and penalties are defined by workers. So this is one of the authority which is given to workers, which one they select for themselves, rewards or penalties. If they want to get rewards, they should improve their performances, and they should always offer the best performances to the organization. But if they didn't do that, or if they were not up to the task and up to the mark, so definitely they will be penalized and they will be given penalties. The disadvantages of the transactional leaderships are rewards the worker on a practical level only, such as money or bonuses. So they offer you just only money or bonuses. We can say that there are many other types of reward systems, but this type of leadership, they mainly focus on money or bonuses to be given as a reward. Creativity is limited since the goals and objectives are already set. So the goals and objectives are set by the organization. Here the chance for the employees to be creative, to be innovative, that is totally eliminated. So you should follow strict direction in course of action in order to achieve the goals of the organization. It doesn't reward personal initiative. So if you want to show any creativity or personal initiative from your side as an employee, so that is discouraged. That is not given any personal reward. Things correctly. So always the employees are asked to do things correctly. If they did any mistake, they will be penalized or they will be given punishment for their mistakes. So these are some of the negative or disadvantages of the transactional leadership style. Thank you so much, students, for your patience, and I hope that the lecture helped you and you understand about the two types of leadership, transactional and also transformational. In case of having any question, comment, or constructive criticism, so you can inbox me, please, at safi.afg55@gmail.com. Thank you. Bye then, and stay safe.